Yo, good morning, good morning, good morning. Man, love and respect everybody that takes the time to vibe with us, takes the time to watch this video. I hope you guys are doing good. Hopefully, you guys slept well. Hopefully, you guys are ready to come through and hang out with your boy, man. Nothing but love and respect to everybody around the world, man. 100%. Um, keep going hard in the paint, man. Uh, live your life to the fullest, man. You know what I'm saying? 100%. Today is Tuesday. It's 77 degrees right now as we speak. So that right there lets me know that it is cooling down, guys. That it is cooling down. That it is cooling down. What's up, Lori? How you doing? Welcome. Love and respect, my sister. Thank you very much for tuning in and vibing with us. What we up to? How we feeling today? I hope you're doing well, my sis. Hey, peace, love, and unity to everybody. I sent you the right address. Sounds good, my sister. I just liked it this morning. Hey, much love, respect, brother. What's going on, Cody? The enforcer in the building. What's popping, my boy? Love and respect. Cheers. Hell yeah, man. How's everybody doing, man? Mad love and respect. Yo, what up, Scott? How you doing, my boy? Welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in and vibing with us. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah, man. Hey, I'm gonna start my video every morning with the title "Woke." You know what I'm saying? Because I see that the deep state, you know what I'm saying, government and shit, man, is using the word woke and shit, man, like people don't read between the lines and shit like that, or people are blinded and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? And I don't need nobody to be blinded and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? 100%. I need everybody to be woke. You know what I'm saying? 100%. I need everybody to be woke. That's it. Because once we start doing things that start putting people on blast, start putting fucking, make people look bad and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? They want to start tainting our our views and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? They call it AI, you know, they call it fake news, you know, they call it woke, you know what I'm saying? And I've been woke for a very long time and shit, man. I've been woke since I started Smoke Nation worldwide. I've been woke before anybody's ever planned to talk about whatever they choose to talk about and shit, man. Freedom of speech and shit, man, Um, I'm still gonna stick with the idea that Charlie Kirk and shit, man. Um, what happened to him in front of us happened in front of us, but it didn't happen in front of us. It happened in front of us, but it didn't happen and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's crazy and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And I know I might get a lot of publicity. I might get a lot of nonsense with all this shit. You know what I'm saying? But the way I think has never been wrong. And every time I've ever spoken my mouth and shit, man, whatever I've ever spoken my mouth about has happened and shit, man, And when you tamper with evidence and shit, man, when the crime scene is tampered with the same day of craziness happening and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, I remember when Donald Trump and shit had his incident and shit, man, I remember when Donald Trump had his incident and shit, man, and he had his ear shot, you know what I'm saying? But his ear wasn't missing and shit, you know what I'm saying? And nobody went and took a test of that blood and shit, man, that was all over his side of his ear and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, I had pointed out, hey, that image looks familiar and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Blah 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 blah. I recently posted in shit, man, the Hitler video picture and the Donald Trump picture and shit, man, just looking similar, the same and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? A coincidence? I think not and shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, slowly learning about Erica and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, the backstories of a lot of things and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you question a lot of things and shit, man. Not because I'm asleep, it's because I'm woke. But I let everybody grieve how they choose to grieve and shit, man. I let everybody, go through whatever they choose to go through in life and shit, man. With whatever news they get and shit, man. But guys, somewhere in the Bible, I can't put it out there and shit, man. But somebody fakes their death and shit, man, and comes back. We always thought it was an artist, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of feel and shit, man, that Mr. 31 and shit, man, meaning Charlie Kirk and shit, man, being 31 years old and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? Could have got a couple of people mad and shit, man. Maybe it didn't take certain people's money and shit, man, because he chose to speak the way he chose to speak. And I'd rather speak the way I speak than have somebody else tell me how how I should speak and shit. You know what I'm saying? I believe in shit, man. Hire people and shit. Try to pay him and shit, man. He said no and shit, man. And that's that. But he also knew that it came with the price and shit, man. It comes with the price. You know what I'm saying? You guys look up the stories. You guys fill in the blinks if you guys want and shit, man. I do streaming and shit, man. Hey, right? It didn't happen the way they say it happened for sure. Honestly, I don't even think it was a kid that did it either and shit, to be honest. You know, um, you know, because they said that he was at the fucking forest or whatever at the woods and shit, right? And the timing of him being at the with the gun and shit, right in the woods and shit, man, and then they got him at Dairy Queen eating an ice cream and shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's supposed to be around the same time he was in the woods with the gun and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of craziness and shit happening and shit, man, But I don't watch the news, guys. So you guys gotta understand and shit, man, that I don't sit here and yeah, I might watch videos here and there, but I'm watching videos of whatever I've already had in my head already fucking built up and shit, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever I feel like I saw, or I feel what I feel and shit, you know what I'm saying? Um, but 100%, man, there was at least 3 to 4 people and shit, man, of interest there and shit, man. Um, Now the person in the roof and shit, I believe the person in the roof wanted to do something, you know what I'm saying? But I honestly think that when he set up and shit, the shot already happened and shit, man, and it was time for him to go and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? And this is just me putting the story together and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? From my chair right here to, you know, if I was there and shit, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know, he's because whatever gun he had and shit, man, won't match the shell, the casing or whatever and shit, man, that went through what's his name's or if it went through and shit, man, because television's easy to fucking fake people out, you know, and there was enough blood to go out there and fucking pick up and give it a test and shit, you know what I'm saying? It's just the way that blood came out, it came out like a little bit of Hollywood and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that it can't happen because I've seen people hunt and, you know, animals get hit and, a lump sum of blood pops out and shit, But there's a lot of craziness and shit, man. Yo, what up, Tyler? Love and respect. Cheers. Welcome. Hell yeah, love and respect. What's up, Dove? How you doing? Welcome. Thank you very much for tuning in and vibing with us. I'm not a conspiracy person and shit, guys. Because nothing that is able to be proven and shit could ever be considered a conspiracy and shit, man. If anything, it's prophecy or it's just meant to be and shit, man. 100%. But I think things are gonna get wilder and crazier and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, they try to destroy our freedom and shit, the ability to speak the way we want to speak and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? But the great Charlie and shit, man. Just like Jesus, man, he will return. Donald Trump called Charlie. He was a great builder. He was a great builder of people. He built people. And nobody wants anybody to be a people builder and shit, man, because government is the controller, the ruler, you know? Yo, what's going on? Dabber, love and respect, bro. Good morning. Hell yeah, cheers to you, my brother, man. How we doing today? What's up, Everett? How you doing, bro? Welcome. Yep, they said 3006 was used. Okay, anyone that has a gun knows a 3006 is a strong gun and shit, man. Yeah, that gun right there would How yeah, what's up, Dev? How you doing, my brother? Welcome. You love and respect, Tyler and Katrina. Welcome, mad love and respect. Yeah, man, it's fucking crazy and shit, man. You know, a lot of people like to go off of what they told and shit. You know what I'm saying? And well, they already said it went like this, and that's just the way it's supposed to be and shit, man. But anybody could tell you a story. Anybody could make up a story and make it sound real good and shit, man, you know, but a lot of people were watching it in real life and real time and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? And like my boy says and shit, man, if you got hit with a particular gun and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? And you know it has a lot of force and shit, man, you know, the body would have fucking jumped and shit. It would have fucking got pushed back or whatever and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? It would have been a fucking dramatic fucking, you know. You know, like if only we would have went and got the blood samples that came out and shit, then we would know and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? But there's a saying and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? In order to fake your death and shit, man, you got to do it in public. You got to do it in the public's eyes and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to do it in the public's eyes. You know what I'm saying? And I put an article or I put a post or something that was somebody was diagnosing it or whatever and shit, man, you know. There's also somebody else breaking down a song and shit, man, you know, that says a lot of craziness and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy. I mean, I told you guys and shit, man, fucking Israel had wrote a letter and shit, man, right? Fucking on September 2nd. I mean, the shit didn't happen till the 10th and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? Their condolences, a condolences letter and shit, man, to, you know, Charlie Kirk and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's wild and shit, man, you know? But there's way bigger people and shit, man, that Kanye West tried to tell us run the world and shit, man, but nobody ever wanted to pay attention to him and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? They've been running the world forever like that and shit, man, you know? They just have us in how do you say it? They just got us in that program and shit, man, you know, and there's people that know that there's a program. And if we say that there's a program, oh, you're woke and shit, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you're a conspiracy, you know, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? You're this and that and shit, man. But it's like, man, a motherfucker can't really be woke. You know what I'm saying? Like, God dang it. Yeah, so honestly and shit, man, you know, I see a dictator doing what he's doing and shit, man, you know. I see the world collapsing the way Babylon's supposed to collapse and shit, man, you know. Babylonians and shit, man. We are modern day Babylonians and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? Um we don't ever listen to our gods and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? We always feel like what we do is perfect and it's fucking perfectly fine and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? But that's what gets us in trouble and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, the reality of it and shit, man, you know, like I said, I'm a sinner and shit, man, you know, but I'm also an individual and shit, man, you know what I'm saying, that knows eventually and shit, man, I gotta face, you know, the big man up above and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? And I tried my hardest to walk a straight line and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's times that I had to fucking, you know, step out of line and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I have to fucking eat up and shit, you know what I'm saying? 100%. You know, but at the end of the day and shit, man, you know, I was in this world trying to be a good person. I was in this world and shit, man, trying to lead people in the right direction on a mission to lead people more to God. You know what I'm saying? I believe that's what I keep on calling Shirley, Charlie Kirk and shit, man, you know, um, was doing and shit, man, you know. Too many people consider themselves Christians out here on this earth and shit, man, but don't live off those Christian values and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying I'm Christian because I don't know what I am and shit, man, but I do know and shit, man, that there's a great man up above and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Our creator, our savior, 100%. You know what I'm saying? I don't know much about religion. You know what I'm saying? I believe religion is a lifestyle and shit, man. You know, if it's in you, it's in you. If it's not, it's just not. You know what I'm saying? Just like cannabis, just like the movement that we have here and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You're either with it or not and shit. You're either, you know, you feel it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? It's either in you or it's not, you know? And that's just what it is and shit, man, you know? Um, Bruh, what's up, Richard? How you doing? Welcome. Hey, good morning. How you doing, man? Joanne, I'm doing good. Thank you very much for tuning in and vibing with us. Yeah, it's just sad how people have to be hurt, but someone wanted him quiet. Yeah, bro, they wanted him to, you know, because apparently some Zion group and shit, right, had sent him $1 million, but he couldn't talk about and have certain people on his platform or whatever and shit, man. And he declined it and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if you can't, they say if you can't control them with money and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? If you can't buy them, you know what I'm saying? Then you got to take them out and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's if you can't control the body and shit. If you can't buy the body and shit, you kill the body and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because like Trump said, he was a creator of people and shit, man. He was a people builder. He was a person building people and shit, man. Inspiring young people and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? To move the right way and shit, man. You know? There's definitely some force at work in the universe. But Everett James, good morning, says Lori. Just got back from the DMV. How did that go? How did that go? Shouts out, Cat, love and respect. Welcome. Now, again, guys, you know, I know you guys don't like politics. You guys don't like religion. You guys don't like this and that. But honestly, your government uses religion and politics in order to divide us and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason you guys are going to attack me and shit is because your government tells you to attack the woke people and shit, the conspiracy people and shit, man. You know, the people that have a way to look at life different than others and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's when that how you say it, like that witch hunt and shit starts happening and shit, man. Oh, you're woke, bam. Oh, you're woke, bam. We don't want no woke motherfuckers here, bam, bam. No more woke people, you know what I'm saying? Here, bomb these woke people right here and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. Yeah. It wasn't too bad. I was there when they opened. I went there straight from school, drop off. Ah, shit. Hell yeah. Hey, she said, I don't play around. Hell yeah. I know people that fucking stand in that DMV line and shit forever, forever, forever. I don't care what people talk about as long as we can debate and at least try to understand each other. Bro, I mean, that's what fucking, what's his name was doing and shit, man. You know, Charlie Kirk and shit, man. You know, um, Turning Point and shit, man. You know, um, what do you call it? That's exactly what he was doing, and that's exactly what I like to do and shit. I'm not a brilliant individual. I'm not book smart. I'm nothing. I just been through life and shit, and whatever I captured throughout life and shit, that's what I put out there and shit, man. You know, but there's definitely people out there that could, you know, debunk what I say, or you know, I could debunk what they say without me having a scholar or you know, fucking that type of brain with knowledge and shit. You know, my knowledge comes within myself and shit. How I know this shit, I've probably been in this world before. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm over here sitting in one spot, you know, thinking about shit that I don't have no control of and shit. But for some reason, I'm thinking about it and shit. But I know the ins and outs about it. But I've never been there in front of anybody to be able to talk about the ins and outs of shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm able to sit here and talk about it. But then somebody hears it. Oh, this fool's retarded and shit, man. This fool's too stoned and shit. This, you see what weed does to you and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then they start using my marijuana and my oils against me and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't be out of my mind and if I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't really be too far out if I understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like but because we're not supposed to know, we're not supposed to question a lot of things. They said we have the right to question things, but we don't have the right to question everything. I mean, we can't fucking explain that why there's photos of Donald Trump at the Espin fucking, you know, island and shit, but he has no acknowledgement who Espin is, or he never had the chance to talk to him or visit him before and shit. You know what I'm saying? He always tried to stay away from Espin and shit. You know, I mean, that's what he says and shit. You know. But like, that's not what the AI is saying. You know, and AI, you know what I'm saying? Donald Trump says AI could be good or it could be bad. You know, you're like, what about those that bag that was coming out of your window at the White House and shit, man? Big trash black bag. Oh, that was AI. It was AI generated. AI is weird. AI is wild. AI could be good or it could be bad. And it was alive, but it moved. Okay, hell yeah. Hell yeah, Joe. Life teaches people lessons that a lot of people don't get the privilege of learning. If you get what I mean, and sometimes that makes you more intelligent than anyone can probably ever understand. 100%. 100%. And I meant 100%, but I said more 100%. Hell yeah, 100%. You know, I'm always going to be an individual that looks at things out of the box and shit. You know what I'm saying? Thinks out of the box and shit, man. You know, 100%. Um, it's just wild that we live in a world and shit, man, where things want to psych us out and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's wild. Here we go, guys. Cheers, man. Friday we go to the motherfucking to the fair and shit, man. Hell yeah, just paid my tickets today and shit, man. Paid for my stuff, so man, We're heading over to the motherfucking fair on Friday, man. We're going early and shit, man. Well, we're going around 5 and shit, man, but I'm gonna come home around 12 and shit, man. Fucking take care of business and shit, man. Do some videos and pick up my kids and fucking go to the fair. Here we go. Man. Yes, straight wild. Her eyes are a complete different color. More people will watch Jimmy. It's totally AI. Did y'all see her eyes change? I'm sorry. Protective glass is the disturbing detail. Are we forgetting how her husband died? I mean, she's in the building and shit, man. You know, I don't know how the fuck anybody's gonna be. I mean, if somebody brings a gun into a building and shit, man, then your security sucks ass. You know what I'm saying? Your security sucks ass. If you're gonna have 80,000 people show up to this memorial thing and shit, man, celebrating somebody's life and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? And you know exactly how he went out and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? Um, you would put as much security as you can and shit, man, around that building and shit, man, you know? You would fucking have metal detectors, you'll have fucking security with wands and shit, man, you know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, Will Rose? Good morning, my brother. Welcome. Have you ever heard a theory about 3 different people in the world, meaning there's 3 different types of reality? Oh yeah, bro. I live that life every day. I live that life every day. It's because in my head, I know. You know what I'm saying? There's countless timelines of this timeline right here, and there's different ways this timeline went. You know, um, in one timeline and shit, man. You know, I'm probably fucking pissed the fuck off and shit. You know what I'm saying? Another timeline and shit, man. This motherfucking shit just went on to the next level and shit, man. You know, on my other timeline and shit, man. You know, this motherfucking show's boring as fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? On my other timeline and shit, man. Hey, people are starting to get the 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 notifications. They're getting, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I understand that there's different realities and different dimensions and different layers of life and shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, like I understand that. You know, that there's a web of craziness everywhere. Yeah, I need some strong weed. Haha. Well, I'm glad the morning is going good, brother. The world is going crazy. Yeah, but that's because the government wants to control us, you know? The government wants to control us, and there's people that are woke, and the woke ones will be the ones that are the woke ones. They don't want no leaders and shit, man, They only want followers and shit, man. People that are gonna follow trends and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't follow trends. We are trendsetters and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't follow the agenda and shit, man, three different types of people in the world, meaning each type sees reality a different way. Oh yeah, for sure. I understand that. But what reality is the right reality? You know what I'm saying? Like, man. you know, um, Donald Trump and shit, man. He created a war against the woke people and shit, man, because he tried to mock the word woke. You know what I'm saying? He tries to use woke as a way to fucking slur our names and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day and shit, man, Mr. Motherfucking bankrupt and shit, man, so many times and shit, man. Mr. Motherfucking my business done fucking collapsed plenty of times and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this fool can't even have fucking charities anymore and shit, man, because he took the money from cancer people and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Look that shit up. Look that shit up. Look that shit up. In the state of New York, man, he can't even fucking get a charity underneath his name and shit, man, But people love him. People love him. People love him. Yo, Timothy, how you doing? Oh man, you got freeze pops. Yep, and what's going on is wrong, right? now I'm right here thinking this thing right here, right? Check it out. All right. And this is just me putting it together right now and shit, right? What if what if the old man did shoot Kirk and shit, man, right? Charlie Kirk and shit, right? But he didn't shoot him with that type of projectile and shit, man. But all right, so imagine this and shit, man, right? Being whatever he was, a security or whatever and shit, you know what I'm saying? Whatever he was and shit, right? The old man and shit, right? But what if the old man shot with the blank and shit, right? It looked the way it looked like on television and shit because television you could do whatever the fuck you want to do and shit, right? What if the person in the roof and shit, man, was gonna take the shot, right? Was gonna take the shot, right? But the dude saw it and shit, right? So he did it before the person on the roof did it and shit, right? But this is where it gets crazy and shit, man. He did it to save Kirk's life because he saw it happen beforehand and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So maybe people saw something in the roof. Maybe these signals were to that they saw something, you know what I'm saying? Listen, you know what I'm saying? There's different things and shit, man, that's going in my head and shit, man, right? And he has to so the old man, I shot him, you know what I'm saying? Had to do that and shit, man, because put a face on the person and shit, put an image on the person and shit, right? Put a identity on the person and shit, right? But what he did was shoot a blank and shit, you know? But the person that was trying to take him out is thinking that he's really taken out and shit, you know what I'm saying? And I know this is too far fetched because I mean, who's gonna spend money on a big old memorial? But then again, guys, they said Michael Jackson ain't dead and shit, and Michael Jackson had a big funeral and shit, this and that and shit, but nobody ever saw the casket and shit, man, open and shit, you know what I'm saying? And everybody wants to believe, and then there's a lot of other videos, but I'm not even, get into that and shit, man. So say whoever offered Kirk money and Kirk didn't take the money and shit, you know what I'm saying? Hired somebody to take him out. And in his head, he took him out. But what if it was really the Secret Service that, you know, had to play it out? Because I mean, the world is a stage and shit. You know what I'm saying? The world is a fucking stage and shit. You know what I'm saying? But again, man, it's wild. Hey, they said years. Hold on. Yeah, ghost tides. Uh, they had years to cover it all up and still got caught. That pandemic was a scam, bro. 100%, 100%. But still, then there's some AI from five different world power to keep you distracted. Side note: the Chinese AI is pretty close to being the most useful, bro. As a teacher, bro, as a teacher, as a governor. I mean, guys, there's a country already using a robot as a governor and shit, man. There was an article on social media and shit, man, and it was the first country and shit, man. I couldn't even pronounce it and shit, but I'll bring it back out and shit, man. But it was the first country going giving because I guess the country was tired of corruption or whatever and shit. So the only way to stop corruption is by giving it to this AI because AI knows right from wrong and shit. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like what I see right now in this world, I see dictatorship stuff. I hear that there was big old giant pictures of Donald Trump in some city and shit, like cartel stuff, like dictator shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not for all that. I don't like being told what to do. I'm sorry. Oh, well, you're always told what to do. Nah, I feel some type of freedom and shit because I wouldn't be on live video stream right now giving them information and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? like, like I know this. I know I'm on live stream, but I also know they're gathering information and shit. You know what I'm saying? They're gathering data and they're gathering this and that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about them and shit. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like you're only gathering information of me talking about you and shit. You know? AI is gonna be like, this motherfucker's talking about us. He already knew about us. He is advanced. Man, that's fire. I don't know nothing, guys. I don't read, but I hate reading. I love reading, but I hate reading because the way my mind thinks. I don't want to read things, and it's a fucking spell that I just activated and shit. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people's like, what the fuck? And then a lot of people probably be thinking, like, what the fuck? You know what? That fool's right. We read a lot of stupid shit, you know what I'm saying? And we say it out loud. If you say it out loud, it just becomes more, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy and shit, you know? Like, I'm not fucking like cuckoo in the head and shit. I just know that my cuckoo in the head is not that fucking, it's not that serious, you know? But a lot of people will say, oh my God, he's real bad. He's real bad with the conspiracy and shit, you know? I said, man, it's not conspiracy and shit. Come on now. It's a lesson. Hell yeah, man. I appreciate you guys sticking around and vibing, man. We got 3 right here. We got 1 right there, man. I appreciate you guys, man. 100%. Um, I know there's a lot more people watching. You guys are screen watchers, and it's cool and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I know I'm not wrong in the way I speak. A lot of people speak the way they feel like they should speak and shit, man, because that's what their commander or ruler would want them to speak like and shit. You know what I'm saying? I can't I can't be the person to read something from a prompt or fucking a paper and shit. You know what I'm saying? And make it feel like I'm the one that made it happen. Fuck all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. It's hard for me to be the first one to be yes sir, no sir. I give you yes or no sir when that respect is given and shit. You know what I'm saying? Not when it's forced and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that becomes, you know, I got an ego. I got an ego. But I got an ego of like, mutual respect. You know what I'm saying? Like 100%, man. The whole world should just love and respect each other and shit, man. Properly and equally. People will be having a lot more fun here on this earth and shit, man, than struggling, than stressing and shit. If people stop doing people wrong for over $10 and shit, you know what I'm saying? 100%. Hey, real talking shit, man. Speaking from experience and shit. You know what I'm saying? From experiences. Um, you know, people run out of your life because they can't afford to pay you $10 or they can't afford to pay you fucking $5 and shit. They think it's better to, run away and shit. And sometimes, you know what? Fuck it. If $5 made that shit happen, then hey, shit. Go get somebody else with that $5 too and shit. Hell yeah. If I'm gonna talk shit about you, I'm gonna talk good shit. I'm gonna talk bad shit. I'm gonna talk bad shit, and then I'm gonna talk some good shit, you know? I know a lot of people talk a lot of bad shit about me, and the people that love me speak highly about me, you know? And when they hear somebody bad talk bad about me, it's like, you got it all twisted, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, Joe ain't like that, spacing like that. You don't even fucking know him and shit. You don't even know him in real life and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, don't let the internet, you know, fuck up our friendship, guys. You know, it's just the internet. One day we're not gonna have the internet, guys. What are we gonna do then? The reality, you know? Man. Hey, love and respect, everybody, man. I'm going to start the video over right now, guys. I'm going to start the video over right now. Love and respect, guys.